Hi, I'm John Quill. Over the last 4 years, I've seen so many people that are underemployed or unemployed, or they go from unemployed to underemployed. Um, that's been my case as well. And so, by trade, I have been a real estate broker for almost 30 years. But with the changes in the market, the changes in my finances, I have not been able to maintain all of the fees that are associated with being a real estate broker. So I found myself in the job market and basically having to um, rebuild and figure out this new climate of finding a job, learning about unemployment, how the process works. And currently, I'm able to see firsthand people that are coming in because of where I'm working right now, part time, because I haven't been able to find full time employment. I have been able to see so many people who are struggling with unemployment over 50 and struggling with underemployment, which both cause, issues because so many are becoming homeless over 50 because of it. And it's a really sad state of affairs. And you become more resourceful in the process of that. But I'm finding that there are few resources available to people. I myself have had to call and ask for rental assistance and assistance with utility bills, the whole 9 yards. And it has been a difficult process, and it's sadness on both sides of the phone because those who are calling and calling, it's almost like a job, just trying to find assistance, trying to, while you're in the process of interviewing and, searching for jobs and redoing your resume. It has been a grueling process. And, and so I'm seeing it every day, or at least several times a week where I work, seeing others that are very nervous and distressed, as well as feeling some of that myself. I spend my days in prayer because of what I am seeing, praying for myself, praying for others, and in the process, when I come home, trying to rebuild to become an entrepreneur again. And so it's like I have several jobs, one trying to find assistance, one when needed, some times are better than others. But when hours are cut at an already part-time job that becomes very part-time, it causes far more issues. And so you have to figure out how to use your time wisely in order to do all of the things that are necessary. And I didn't understand this before. I'd never gone through this. And so it's given me more compassion, more understanding in the process of understanding how those over 50 end up underemployed or, unemployed, because when cuts are made, there are people who are being blindsided. I was blindsided by the last job that I had, where I was called at the end of the day after I left to state that there were budget cuts and that I was no longer needed and not to come in the next day. And so, so many have walked in and, ready to start their day, only to be called in and told that that was their last day. And their stuff was either they were given a box or, their stuff placed in a box. So I've been through and I've seen various different forms of that. And it's really quite sad. And it makes me want to work harder to become an entrepreneur again, so that I am in control, more in control of my life, my livelihood, keeping a roof over my head. Because as I've stated in other videos, this is my channel, 10 houses to 10 bags, how I went from riches to rags instead of the opposite way. And so in doing so, it makes me want to work harder to become an entrepreneur again, so that I no longer endure some of the unfair, unkind things that I have endured based on how I was treated in the workplace. And it really makes you think. It's like the opposition that you face in the workplace, where you end up spending so many hours of your time. It's just quite sad that you're in such negativity, such toxic environments. I've been in some very toxic environments, and it saddened me. And it also helped me to realize some of the people that I came around that had been in those environments for a long time. It helped me to understand why certain behaviors were as such that I was confused about, but I could understand it in seeing. It doesn't make it right, but I could understand how they had become a product of their environment. And I feel for their families, because if they're taking that home to their families, then it's a sad state of affairs, especially if they have children at home who are having to endure some of the behaviors that I've seen. And so I'm hoping that I can help others to find solutions to their problems, solutions to being unemployed or underemployed. In this season, it reminds me of the verse in Ecclesiastes, I think it's Ecclesiastes 11:2, that speaks of, one version says, cast your bread upon the water. In another version, I think it's the NIV, it says, have 7 or even 8 ventures, because you do not know what disaster may come upon the land. And so in this season, because I've spoken and said that I've been a real estate broker. If you've watched some of my other videos, I've been a real estate broker for almost 30 years. I'm in Texas. And in the process of losing everything, having to start over with my business, I had to choose a new business name. I became angry. I spent years basically just fuming and being depressed about the situation, instead of picking myself up, dusting myself off, and pressing forward to create a new business, to keep going. So in the process, there were times when I was able to keep my license active, times when I wasn't, times when I was able to be a part of the multi-listing service and a part of the local boards, and times when I wasn't because of the fees. And so it's been an up and down journey, sometimes like a roller coaster ride. And so because of that, in the last 4 years, I went through homelessness, and I had to move into a shelter that I was once giving to as in donations, clothing and household goods. That became a place where I lived for a year. And in the process of that, it was a working program. So found a job with assistance, because I had gaps in my resume, gaps in the time that I was working in, because I'd been self-employed for so long. For some, I didn't look like a very good candidate. For others, I was overqualified. And they were concerned that as soon as the market changed, that I would go back to real estate. And as soon as I got on my feet financially, that I'd go back to real estate. So there was various different things that I endured through this process that I didn't understand. I've done some research, basically because of where I'm working now. I am in a position to where I'm able to learn, because I'm hearing career counselors speak to other people to help them, to listening to the other end of the conversations when they're dealing with unemployment, listening to their stories as they come in, because some just need someone to listen to them for a moment, praying for them as well. And so in the process of this, I am learning and seeing how I need to rebuild and what I need to do. And it strengthens the thought and the fact that I see the solution as having several streams of income, because if one stream doesn't bring in anything, then hopefully the next stream will, and the next stream, so that there's enough to have the type of lifestyle that I would like to have, that I previously had. And so those are my goals. And it's setting dreams and visions, and having dreams and visions, and setting those goals so that I'm able to work towards something. And each day when I leave that job, I am coming home to another job, trying to figure out, I'm just being transparent, real. My book is called Bear: My Journey from Owning 10 Houses to Being Homeless with 10 Bags. And Bear is about being transparent. It's about excavating. It's about digging and exposing various different things in my life that helped me move forward and some of the things that held me back. And so my manuscript, in it, I share those things. And I'm learning a lot. I've learned a lot over the last 4 years that I'd like to share bit by bit, and to just share in small increments. Because in my case, I didn't have a lot of time to sit and watch a video for an hour, 2 hours. I had to break that up. And so I've chosen to do smaller bite-sized pieces in hopes of, hopefully you can listen to it on a break or on a lunch break, because many times I only had, 15 to 30 minutes. And it helped when I was at some of these jobs just to be able to have something positive, something encouraging. If I can make it, you can make it. Just keep pushing, just keep one foot in front of the other, just keep moving. I found that in the times when I sat still, in the times when I allowed depression and all the things that go with that, guilt and shame, when I allowed those things to paralyze me, when I would either freeze, and it was fight, flight, or freeze, and I think I've previously mentioned that. There were times when I was combative with people and they were trying to help, but I felt so ashamed and so judged by things that were being said by people who had not walked in my shoes, that I was combative, that I was in fight mode. There were times when I was in flight mode because I didn't want to hurt their feelings, and just sometimes I just didn't have the energy to fight with someone or debate with someone about something that they knew not of in the first place. Then there are times when I was just frozen. I couldn't do anything. Those were the days that I spent in bed, and sometimes would call in sick at work, and it was because I literally was sick. Over the years, leaky gut started from stress. And so there were times when I couldn't leave my house because I was stuck in the bathroom. And I started to realize it was the fact that the stress, it wasn't always what I was eating, but what was eating me. And there were many times where there was no rhyme or reason to it. And I knew that it was stress, but there was nothing I could do about it. Rent was due, there wasn't enough. Having to learn where are the food pantries and where can you go and be treated with decency and respect. That's a big part of it. When there are people who you can tell that they have not gone through much because they do not necessarily treat others who are struggling with respect. And so, and I can always tell when I've come across someone who has gone through some struggles and hard times, because the respect that they give is so appreciated. And you can see it. You can see that they've, may not necessarily have walked in your shoes, but they have definitely been through some hard times. And so I've been learning a lot lately about just how to keep moving forward, how to use social media. This is new to me. This is actually, it was very intimidating. So much so, a few years ago, I tried to record because I felt like the Lord was telling me to tell my story, speak from parts of my manuscript to hopefully keep someone else from struggling as long as I have, or from going so deep into the pit. And so in the process of that, I would get on camera, and I'll end up, once I learn how, splicing together some of those clips just to show you my hair was so thin you could see my scalp. And my hair is long, and it doesn't look like it, but it's below my shoulders. It curls up a lot. But my hair was so incredibly thin that you could see straight through it. And my face was very bloated from inflammation. And when I'd look at myself, I couldn't bear to have somebody else or to have the world see how I was looking. And so it saddened me to see that I was not my best, and that I was getting sicker and sicker by the day. And it was from the magnitude of the stress, the guilt, the shame, and all the things that came with homelessness. It brought in my downfall was just more than I could bear sometimes. And I couldn't believe, I was in shock. And that shock just caused so many different issues. It held me back. It kept me in a bad position for a long time. And I have had to learn so much in order to dig myself out of the hole that I had dug um, by hiding, by sitting still for so long. And so I would really like to share more of my story. I had to just bear it all. I had to be transparent to show it. I had to learn to be brave. And I had to see the brilliance in it. And the most powerful thing that I was told by another woman when she stood and said that when I asked her about something she had done, and she was able to say, it's because it's brilliant, you know, it was a brilliant idea. And I realized because I have the mind of Christ, I can walk in brilliance. And that's a huge, huge blessing. I've gotten amazing blessings from being in this position. I've gotten amazing blessings from divine connections, divine appointments, and what I see as an opportunity for a divine do-over. I spoke of that previously, but I do see this as an opportunity to have a do-over and to hopefully have others walk through it with me so that we can move forward together. And so I'm Jonquil. I hope that you will join me again. I hope that you will share this video with those that you feel it may bless. And I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.